Good morning, everybody. Today, it is very soggy, but I've got a new Rubicon transfer case in the Jeep, as does Denny, and we want to go test them out. So we're heading into the mountains, and it's going to be wet. I'm currently just sitting under cover, hoping that it slows down a bit for me to get in. And then I think we're heading out into those mountains there that you can barely see. Jeep doesn't care though. So yeah, recently Jekyll Fab slapped in a Rubicon transfer case, which takes it down to a 4-to-1 ratio from a 2.72 to 1 ratio, I believe. So it's a whole bunch slower, and I'm excited to try that out in the snow and in the mountains. They also did a bunch of work tightening up the suspension, bunch of stuff like that, so less clunks, and I'm excited. So by the time I loaded everything up, it kind of stopped raining. It's still a little overcast, but yeah, better than pouring rain. So just heading to the gas station, meet up with Denny, grab some snacks, and then we're on our way. Quite a familiar sight. Just a touch below the red. Should make it. Don't worry about that guy. Well, made it to the gas station at least, so that's good. Denny should be here any minute. There he is. Oh, I can tell that's got a Rubicon transfer case just by looking at it. Yeah. He's definitely driving with more confidence. Totally different. Man. That thing must have a Rubicon transfer case.
Oh, geez, it does.
I could tell. Ooh. Ugh. That's terrible. All right, well, let's roll. Well, looks like it's starting to brighten up a little bit where we're going. So that's good. And back to rain. What an emotional roller coaster this drive has been. It's currently 10 degrees down here. So might get into snow. I mean, actually snowing. We're definitely gonna get into snow, but see if the temperature drops enough for snow. All right, we're just at the bottom of the Forest Service Road. Gonna drop a few pounds in the tires, and then we'll head up and see how long it takes to get into snow, and hopefully the road's not too nasty and rutted and too many stuck people. Probably a little early for that. Drop a couple pizzles.
Yes.
Oh, what do you got there?
Tool, as mentioned earlier, customized to be able to tighten up the drive shaft. Because it has Allen keys, but you can't get in there because it's a double card.
Nice.
Yep. So what's
Fiver?
Fiver?
Yeah.
As well.
We're going up anyway, so. So as I mentioned before, Denny also put a Rubicon case in his.
I did.
And what was your gears before? Is it also 2.72?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so they're the same. So if my math is correct, which is a good chance it's not, that's 47% lower ratio in the transfer case than stock. Ooh. So that's awesome. The cool thing about just doing it in the transfer case is it doesn't affect your high range. You can go down the road in 2-wheel, 4-high. That's still all the same. The only thing that affects that is your gear ratio in your axles. So it's just when you put it into low range, it crawls. Have you tried it out yet?
Only on the shop floor.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually driven on it. It's going to be good.
Well, we'll get his first reaction here when he pulls away, because it's a lot slower. All right, let's drop him. So this is our air down spot. This used to be a nice big dirt parking lot where you could unload your stuff, and now it's gonna be houses. So this road won't be touched because it's a Forest Service road, so it's safe, but yeah, houses keep creeping in on everywhere. Oh, that's slow.
Okay, this is crazy.
That's slow.
This is gonna be a problem. That is nuts.
That's a lot of torque.
Things just changed a little bit.
50% slower.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit the road. We drop down to 5 PSI because it'll go up a little bit as we go up the road. Well, he's stoked, obviously, so now we'll see how it translates to snow and different snow conditions. And obviously in the summer it's great for crawling, rock crawling, everything. You want a super low ratio, but it does add a ton of torque. So if you get in a bind a little easier to snap axles, but it's all right. The rain's trying to hold off again. Well, this is the area that was all ice and ruts last time when Tom went snowmobiling, so it's obviously melted up a bunch since then. Mountain bikers are out already. 3,000 feet elevation is the first sign of a little bit of snow in the trees. And in the next couple thousand, you'll see how much it picks up. 3,500 feet. So this is probably the time of the year with the most recoveries because it's so nice in town, it's sunny, everyone's biking and out walking, and they think that up the mountains is also the same. So they bring their little cars up or whatever vehicle, and they realize that it turns to snow and very soft, slippery snow very quickly. And the roads are very much one line, so they can't turn around. When they try and turn around, they get stuck, or they just get stuck trying to press on to find a turnaround. So I'm sure we'll come across someone probably on our way down today. So now we're onto the KVR, which if you've seen my videos before, we've been here a lot, and this is a very popular place for people to come and for people to come and get stuck. You can see how much it changes from the spots that are in the sun to the spots that are in the shade. North facing, south facing. Yeah, big difference. Usually gets pretty nasty up in here because it traps the water in between these little canyon walls. And people get stuck in here. Definitely my favorite sections of the KVR. These rock walls where they blast it through for the train, and then just moss and water seeping out between the rocks, and super cool. More puddles. Actually melted more than I thought up at Chute Lake Lodge. Lake's still frozen, there's still a bunch of snow, but it's looking good. So we're at the spot where it kind of gets less traveled and starts to go up the mountain towards Big Meadow Lake. So we'll see what condition the snow is at. I have pretty low hopes. So down too low, the snow is almost too soft. It's kind of like a slushy where you sink in. So at some elevation there will be good quality snow. It's just how long it lasts. Up we go. Denny playing with his new low range. There's no trail there, by the way. They spin pretty easy. So far, it looks like there's been very few people up here in the last couple weeks. One set of tracks from maybe a week or so ago, but yeah, nothing recent, that's for sure. Well, we just passed 5,000 feet and the snow is still pretty slushy, so that's promising for when it gets a little bit higher and a little bit deeper, that hopefully it's in a condition that will be compactable. That's what we're looking for, is to stay on top, because there's still going to be a good few feet of snow where we're wanting to go. Well, we made it to Big Meadow Lake very easily, which was to be expected. Lots of snow here all of a sudden. It's probably like 5,500 feet. And yeah, there is some tracks from snow wheelers. I don't know when they're from, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. So hopefully they went further than they did the last time we were up here, and we've got some sort of base, because without that it might be a little tricky. Sticking to the tires and flying. So we've made it to the turnoff to Corporation Lake, and this is as far as we made it in the Snowcat when we were out with the snow wheelers a few months ago. They only made it like a kilometer up this road, so hopefully it's better this time. There is a few sets of tracks, mostly snowmobile, but we'll find out. I don't know if you can hear all the snow landing on the roof, but it's getting flung. It's also something to mention how flat the light is. When it's kind of overcast like this, not many shadows, it's hard to see what terrain you're dealing with. So far so good in the snow wheelers tracks, but we're coming up to the point where they couldn't make it any further, whatever that was, 2 or 3 months ago. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone has continued on to Corporation Lake since then. So they actually turned, you can go across this clear cut and hook onto another trail down there. So we're hoping that some tracks go past that point that they turned. So it looks like we're in luck. They appear to continue on. Not very many, but there's some from some time ago, so there is a bit of a base, so that's good news. You can see they're not very defined, but someone's been through here. So I'm just gonna slap it in 4-low and test it out. Don't really need it here, but man, does it crawl. We are going very slow. It's kind of rough here, so might as well. That's the pace that it goes. So that's no brake, no gas. Looks like the snow wheelers had a time here. Denny's doing the same and just creeping behind me. This is a little off camber. It's hard to tell, but it constantly wants to push you to the left. Which there's a, well, 5 or 6 foot bank. Let's try and go off track here a bit. So now we're in the fresh stuff, no base. Still a little bit soft. Packing quite as good as I want, but better than it was last time I was out. And I'm probably at like 7 psi, maybe 8 now. Yeah. Still not perfect. Yeah, it's definitely different with this low range. A lot of torque. I can't rock it as good as I used to, which I relied on that a bunch, so Denny's just popping me out. Well, so much for that experiment. It's pretty wet on top, but once you break through, there we go. yank them to the rescue. So there's my tracks. Yeah, it wants to pack on top, but once you break through, it's still kind of not sugary, but just soft.
Garbage.
Yeah, not good. This is Corporation Lake, more of a pond, glorified puddle. They did make it past. I can't tell if they kept going up there, but find out shortly. We have struggled through this portion before, and you could tell they were definitely chewing also. Kind of nice, there's ruts, so even on the pretty steep side hills, you're just locked in and don't slide. Thanks, fellas. Looks like they continue, so now we're kind of back into a cut block here, and there's some good sized boulders that you can't see when there's this much snow, but if you sink down, you find them, often on your axles, differentials, things like that. Looks like there's a new clear cut, so it should be kind of logging road from here on out, which is different than it used to be. It used to be kind of more of that tight along the tree line section with holes and rocks and stuff, so not complaining, it's just different. So this is what I mean by very flat light. You cannot tell where, well, anything is really. I'm just kind of guessing where the tracks are under the wind-blown snow. Yeah, holes and ruts and stuff don't show up very well. Well, we made it through, back onto the more main road. It's not plowed, but once I put my little thinker to work, I realized that a few weeks ago a bunch of the snow wheelers did Howard Lake, which this is probably the route they took to get there. So Thanks, guys, because without those trucks, we would not have been making it through. So we're at 5,400 feet. It's foggy, a couple snowflakes, 6 degrees, and it's deep. I don't know what it would be, probably 4 feet deep at least. Well, we made it to plowed road with very high windrows, so it's only 2:30. I was expecting this to take well into night. So now we got to figure out where to go next. We're back at the highway. We're gonna throw some air in the tires a little bit, go up to like 12 or something, go down and do another trail to James Lake. Mostly to, well, half and half, to check on the conditions, and there's a pretty good chance there'll be someone stuck there. So we'll check that out, come down Postal area, and that'll be a day. Well, we made it down the highway a few kilometers onto this next road, which so far is just 2 very icy ruts, so hopefully it gets a little bit better. And I would not be surprised if there was someone stuck out here. This road here is actually the road that we pulled the Audi car out of earlier this year. They were like 8 kilometers up this. Impressive, really. So there is one set of tracks going up, and you can tell that they're spinning a little bit, and I don't see them coming the other direction. So yeah, the chances of us running into someone up here just got a little bit more, because as you can tell, you can't turn around once you're in these ruts. The only option is backing up. Looks like someone had a time. You can always tell when the spots where people got stuck and dug and put sticks under. Tells a story. Ah, yes, just as I expected. There's a Jeep and a truck that is trying to get out. Boy, are they lucky. Just sneaking around the Jeep that was there. There's a stuck truck. At least they're facing the right direction. So I'm just getting turned around, and then I'll back up to them, and we'll try first with the Yankum, and if that doesn't do it, we'll hook the winch on. So apparently he was up trying to help other people get unstuck, which he actually did, got them up unstuck, and then he was spinning around and got stuck, and I don't know, they took off, didn't help, whatever. So he was using ratchet straps and stuff to try and pull himself, but this will go a little quicker. Like you here. It's all mixed ruts. Easy peasy with the Yankum. So, the truck's moving. Now we're just getting the Jeep turned around, which we'll probably have to pull her from there because, yeah, just getting her turned around and then they'll be on their way.
Crank your wheel the other way, you'll do it in the run, I think. Thanks, guys.
Well, they're on their way. also. So they were all the way up here and spinning a lot of tires, which that gets you stuck. Low and slow is the way to go. Well, we're almost at James Lake. No one else stuck, but lots of struggling tracks, so still a possibility to come across someone else. There's the lake. Very low. Still a little bit of ice. That'll be coming up pretty soon. All right, start making our way down. Well, we're back on pavement just as it started to rain pretty heavily. It was a good day overall. Got to help someone out. The Rubicon transfer cases were good. Denny's got a few little adjustments he's got to do with his linkage. Popped out a gear a couple times, but nothing major. And it's going to take a lot of getting used to as far as driving, because it is much different. Can't rock it anymore when you kind of get stuck, because there's just torque, and yeah, the gear's right there. But it's gonna be awesome for rock crawling, slow, tight stuff. It's gonna be so much better. So, all in all, successful day. If you could do me a big favor, hit the subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. It really does help as I'm trying to grow the channel, and it is much appreciated. Thanks for watching.